My name's Sam Bridgman. This is Unit 18 Assignment 1. My U number is U00044927, and this series of videos is testing flexibility. We're testing the shoulder, hip, ankle and elbow. Come in. That's Cam, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, cool. Good. How are you?
Good, thanks. Not bad. Not bad.
Feeling good?
Yeah.
Cool. Right, so today is just a brief overview of the email experience. We spoke with over email. I sent you this health questionnaire.
Yep.
You kindly print it off at home, so you don't have to do that here.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. You circled and filled them all out, so it's really nice. So we're just going to go through it over through it again, just so I've got a clear understanding of you as a client and things like that, and if I hope you take it forward. So, start with the first question. We've got, do you smoke? And you put no. Obviously, I don't. Have you smoked ever in your lifetime at all?
No,
not literally.
not once.
Okay, so that's good. Has your doctor ever said your blood pressure was high or low?
No, not I'm aware of.
It's fairly steady over
pretty
time.
standard.
I mean, we can test that today just to prove that as well. We can test it over each session, things like that as well.
Not a problem.
Have you or your family member been told you had diabetes before?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm type 2.
You're type 2. Is anyone else in your family?
No one else, just me.
So do you know your blood sugars go up and down quite frequently, or is it fairly steady, or is it just during exercise?
Yeah, in terms of the severity of it, it's quite mild.
Okay, so we can put mild down there?
Yeah. In fact, when I would experience it most is after activity.
Okay, so
I have quite a shot down in sugar levels after activity, but that's about it.
Okay,
so that's when I notice it most.
So that's one for maybe during an exercise program or whatever, there's always a chocolate bar or something there just in case, just so protecting you. Any cardiovascular problems such as previous heart disease and things like that, you put no, which is all really good. Has your doctor ever told you high cholesterol levels?
No, all good.
Okay, good. Oh, you're overweight. I can clearly see you look fairly
okay.
We can still do some weight and testing things like that as well, just to do an overview of consultation. Any back injuries or orthopedic problems? You put no. Are you taking any prescribed medications or diet information? You put salbutamol, which I believe is an asthma pump.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you suffer with asthma badly or?
It's not too bad.
So again, it's mild, yeah?
Yeah, I have a blue inhaler, which I have to take.
Just jot that down.
Yeah, that's about 20 minutes before exercise.
Okay.
And then I have a brown one, which is once in the morning, once at night.
Okay, we'll just jot that down, just so we've got that down. Before. And you say brown one?
Yeah, once in the morning, once at night.
1 in the morning, 1 at night. Okay, good. Any other medical indication? You just passed, so we can't go with that already. Do you have a current exercise program at all? Had any really strenuous ones in the past?
No, I do a bit of my own training, but I've never actually been led by an instructor.
Okay, so in that training, what do you do normally in that training? Is it like a full body? Is it specific?
I normally split it into the muscle groups.
Okay,
but
so
I don't tend to go too heavy. It's sort of comfortable weight. Obviously, I don't want to put myself out.
So nothing like hypertrophy or anything like that. It's mainly just is it more endurance based or?
I'd say more endurance based.
Okay,
it's
more endurance based.
Yeah.
More endurance based. So I've got a feeling you're going to be quite comfortable with any endurance based session you're going to be doing anyway.
Hopefully.
I've put a list of goals of your program. You put increased muscle mass. Is this for any specific area? So any top half? Or?
More just in general, really. Just try and
general
sort of overall strength. Yeah.
So you're looking to increase weight as well?
Yeah, if it's possible. Yeah, obviously my diabetes it's quite difficult, but
okay, cool. You've acknowledged there, so you should do a bit more of a consultation. You haven't completed that yet. It's literally another few questions. Just any exercise and likes and dislikes. So do you prefer any exercise or dislike any exercises that you do?
I think off the top of my head.
So for example, in the gym, do you like doing leg extensions, things like that?
Yeah, I'm not. I think cardio wise, I'm not the biggest fan of a bike.
Okay, so
yeah, bum starts to hurt after quite a while. So yeah, not the biggest fan of the bike.
Okay.
Off the top of my head, that's all of them. Yeah, I can't really think of anything that stands out.
Okay, because obviously I want you in any exercise program where we create, I want you to be as motivated as possible. Yeah. So bike exercises there may be some in the program, but we might not do it all the time.
Okay.
How many times do you reckon, or would you like to be training? I don't know what because you said previously you do your own sort of thing. How many times do you do that during a week?
Around 3. Oh,
So
3 times a
three
week?
times.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
3
sort
times a
of.
week. And with work schedules, I presume you're working with work schedules, is that?
Yeah,
is that
working
okay?
weekends, studying alongside. So
Okay, so you work weekends.
yeah, and then studying is Monday, Thursday, Friday.
Okay, so study Monday, and during those studying hours, do you have any practical lessons in that?
Yeah, I do.
Do you say Monday, Thursday, and Friday?
Yeah, I believe practical is normally Monday and Friday, but
Okay.
we occasionally have Thursday as well.
So the practical, does that involve skill aid, or is it gym based as well?
It's largely gym based.
Okay, so largely gym based.
Quite a lot of gym
So
based.
I'm guessing you have quite a lot of knowledge on gym exercises, gym based. Any barriers at all that you wish to tell me hinder any training? So obviously we spoke about asthma. That's one of those.
Yeah, I mean that's fairly mild. Hopefully, as long as I'm not going too maximal cardio wise.
Yeah.
I think whenever I'm using weights, I don't tend to get too out of breath. Even when it's like I'm really struggling, it's not a respiratory issue. I think mainly if I'm on like a treadmill and I'm doing flat out sprints, that's when I really feel my asthma.
Okay. So we're trying to hinders upon high intensity.
And then probably just my diabetes, however that may affect it.
Okay, so I think throughout a program that we create together, I'm pretty sure we can test throughout, so we can just see how we'll do it safely, obviously, through tests. But just to see, so once we get to maybe, say we're doing a 6-week program, say if we're doing week 4 and 5, intensity might go up a little bit.
Yeah.
Obviously we want to know what your maximum can go before you have a drop off or anything like that.
Yeah.
So we want to be safe doing it.
Yeah.
So we'll do some safe exercises surrounding blood sugar levels. Sorry, I can't spell that. Right, goal setting. So you put previously the goals are going to increase muscle mass. So if we look in short term, obviously short term isn't that achievable for muscle mass really.
Yeah.
It's more development stage. So obviously long term we can put muscle mass.
Yeah.
So muscle mass. Should we be more specific in terms of groups? So do you want to keep a solid ratio of like proportions? Obviously 1.5 say for the legs and the lower half, and then maybe 1 for the top half, just so you keep a proportion. Yeah. Okay, so proportion on growth. How long do you reckon you'll be committed for this sort of program? So obviously I'm talking sort of maybe 6 weeks, but obviously depending on you, I don't know what other work commitments you might have.
I think 1 to 2 months is 1 to 2 months. That's
1 to 2 months,
reasonable.
okay.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so 1 to 2 months. Okay, moving on. Okay, right, nutrition. So your diet is a big one. I just want to know, is your diet fairly stable and healthy?
Could be better, as everyone's good.
Right, okay. So let's go through what you'd have. Okay, large refresh in the memory. Yesterday, what did you have yesterday?
Start with breakfast.
Yeah, we'll start breakfast.
Cheerios.
It's breakfast. Okay, so you got some carbohydrates in there and cereal.
So Cheerios with milk, just 1 bowl.
What milk is it? Is it skimmed, semi-skimmed?
Semi-skimmed green cap.
Semi-skimmed milk. After breakfast, do you have a snack in between that and lunch, or do you eat lunch?
Yeah, I'll normally have some Belvita cereal bars. So
okay, so
like
more
sort of
okay, so a bit more
energy snack bars.
Energy snack bars. Snack bars. So would you say they were Belvitas? Did you say?
Yeah, Belvitas.
For lunch, would you have for lunch?
Lunch yesterday. Good question.
Did you have lunch? I know because I've dealt with clients of part in the past where they've just not had lunch at all.
I do tend to, where I can, I always have 3 meals because I do get hungry.
So would you say it's inconsistent?
Yeah, I'd say yesterday I don't think I really did. It was more sort of
inconsistent
snacking over the course of lunch, if that makes sense. So over 3 or 4 hours I was sort of eating as and when. Yeah, I do like to try and keep
So you do like a lot of snacking then?
Yeah, I do.
So you're substituting instead of. I can't smell snacking. Did you have any snacks after that as well? Like a snack day.
No, sort of snacked right up to dinner.
Okay,
yeah.
So what sort of things did they entail? Were they still these sort of Belvedere bars, or were they more chocolatey? Or were they fruits?
So I had yesterday over lunch. I had an apple.
Okay, so
yeah.
So you get your vitamins from that. Cool.
Yeah, I had another cereal bar, but it was a different brand.
Okay.
It was it was a Kellogg's one. I think it was berries and something,
okay.
something or other. So it was a berries Kellogg's bar.
So you're getting your carbs and your vitamins from that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had some raisins as well. Just standard ones.
Okay, so it looks like you're getting your minerals in.
Yeah.
You're getting your nutrients. What about fluid as well? Are you drinking a lot of water?
Just
so
yeah.
is it just water, or are you having other things?
So I don't do fizzy or alcohol.
Okay, that's good.
So when it's not water, it'll probably just be some form of like cordial.
Okay.
So it'll be like blackcurrant squash or fresh apple juice stuff, and just standard substitutes. But it is normally water on the whole. So I kind of hold myself to that. I quite like it.
Quick question as well. So if you have a period where you have low sugar levels, do you notice it really quickly? Would you have, say, an apple or apple juice, things like that? Since quite sugary?
Yeah, so I tend to go quite lightheaded.
Okay.
I feel quite limp. I tend to lose a bit of control on my body. I feel sort of quite weak. If someone asked me to like give them a high five, it would be quite difficult to bring my arm up and do it with force. But normally it's just quite as standard as sort of grab me a chocolate bar, anything sugary, anything typically unhealthy. Get that in my system, and within 5 to 10 minutes I'm alright.
Okay. So obviously during training, things like that, I'll always refer back to you if you're feeling okay. Any worries during the sessions, say for example, we're doing treadmill and things like that.
Yeah.
At any point you tell me you're lightheaded and thing, I'll take you off and we'll do that process you just said.
Cool. Fine.
What about dinner? Did you have a substantial meal for dinner?
Yeah. Dinner I had steak.
Okay, so you're getting your proteins there.
Yeah.
And your amino acids.
Steak, potatoes.
Steak, potatoes, so you're getting your carbs there as well.
Yeah, and some Yorkshire puddings with gravy.
So some Yorkshire puddings.
Yeah, quite a nice one last night.
Yeah, nice. Puddings with gravy, you say? Was that beef gravy?
Yeah, beef gravy.
Beef gravy. So you've spoken about fluid, you've spoken about snacking, so your lunches are very consistent, mainly snacks. Is this due to work commitments and the way you...
It's when I'm away from home. So when I'm at home, I'll do a full prep lunch and I'll have a proper meal. Right. But it's sort of if I'm out and about, if I'm at college or if I am at work.
Convenient.
Yeah, it's sort of grab what's there type thing and make it.
So days away from work and study, inconsistent lunches, and opposite for days. Okay, cool. So obviously, as we create a program, we'll obviously look to see what days you can do, what days you're free. Specifically, I don't really want to bore you with really long sessions, so they're going to be fairly short sessions, but I'll push you, but to what you can limit to. Obviously, we've spoken about blood sugar levels, things like that. Yeah. Also, we've spoken about main areas of focus. You just want a general growth in body mass, which will also increase weight. You're looking to reduce fat percentage, or do you know your fat percentage?
Last time I checked, it was below 10%.
Okay.
It may be higher now.
Well, if you're happy to, we can look at that on the BMI scale, so you'll see all that anyway. Obviously, we'll look at visceral fat as well, which is the fat surrounding your major organs, around your stomach and things like that. You haven't had any fractures or anything recently in the last sort of year or so?
No.
So fairly accident free.
Yeah, luckily.
It's quite nice to hear because I've had a lot of yeah, hopefully not. So yeah, we're just going to move on to do some testing. If that's okay. So we'll do blood pressure. And on the BMI scale, we look at obviously BMI, body fat percentage, visceral fat readings. Yeah. Obviously, I need to know your height. What's your height? Roughly?
181, I think.
181,
Yeah,
so
5'11". Just
that will
over.
go into the machine as well, so it will literally give you everything that you need to know so we can move forward in the process. Other than that, thank you very much.
No worries.
Have a good day, we'll do some tests.
Cheers, man. Sorry, man.
Sorry. Okay, so now we're going to do just some simple tests, Cam. Blood pressure, I presume you've had blood pressure that you take before.
Multiple times.
So you roughly know the process. We'll also do a BMI reading as well.
Fine.
Obviously, we've spoken previously about body fat percentage, visceral fat, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, you take your hoodie off, which is great.
Yep.
What we're going to get you to do is just lay your left arm flat.
Yep.
Get that 45-degree arm reflection. Make sure you've got supinated palm, which is great. What we're going to do, just going to feed it. Like that. Make it tight just so I can fit 2 fingers around it, just like so. Tighten up under the Okay, there, right, Cam. So we've got a reading of 137/61, and that might be low gibberish to you. But 137 is a systolic blood pressure. Systolic is basically where the heart contracts, and that's its most powerful, basically, for blood pressure. And your diastolic is opposite, so it's when the heart contracts. Now, an optimal level would be, from the ACSM guidelines, would be 120/80. So 137 is a little high.
Yeah.
We can look to reduce that through other cardio exercise and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Diastolic is actually fairly low, so we want to improve that. So we want to improve the relaxation of your heart, basically. Which will mean, I know you don't really like cardio exercises, but those cardio exercises will probably be implemented just so you can get that blood pressure perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Now, your blood pressure isn't that abnormal, but there are some anomalies there, so we'd like to do that. Your heart rate sits at, if it will tell me, at 60 beats per minute, which is really good, which is really fit.
Mm-hmm.
Again, according to ACSM guidelines, 60. Between sort of 60 and 70 or 80, that is perfect for heart rate.
Okay.
So you're nice and healthy in that front. Now we're going to move on to a BMI machine.
It's fine.
So I'll just get you to take your shoes off for me.
Yeah, no worries.
I'll turn on the machine and let it calibrate for a quick second. So this is known as a bioelectrical impedance scale.
Okay.
If you just like to step on the scale for me. Actually, hang on. Let me sit. Sorry, what's your age again? 19?
19, yeah. I'm 20 yet, soon.
So we'll put
about a month, yeah.
onto 19. You're male.
Yep.
And your height in centimetres, please. I think you said 181.
Yeah, we'll go 181,
yeah.
yeah.
So 181. So obviously we can do some more in-depth tests later on if we need to, just to make it
That's fine.
absolutely spot on. Taking its time. Okay, 181. Age. So you can just step on the scale for me.
Yeah.
Hold the bar at 90-degree flexion. There we go. Just hold that there for me. Got a weight of 66.8 kilograms. There, calculate. So obviously what this machine is doing is put electrical current through your body. It will affect the results slightly because you're wearing socks and other clothing.
Okay.
Cool. Done. So we just go through. So obviously you've got a BMI of 20.4. Body fat percentage of 8, which is really good, really quite low, which is nice and healthy. 47.2% muscle percentage, which is really good as well. So obviously you want to look to improve that. I think that's pretty good already, to be fair.
Yeah.
And a visceral fat 2, which is very good. Considering it's at 30, that's very light and it's very good. It means your inside your organs, your major organs are really healthy.
Cool.
So that's really good. I'm now going to be taking my client through a flexibility test. So we're going to test flexion, extension, abduction, and external and internal rotation of the shoulder. So we're going to start off with flexion of the shoulder. So it's just simply that movement. So I'm going to find brain protrusion of the elbow. So if you just go up slowly, as far as you can, keeping that back straight. So Cam's first reading for shoulder flexion is 165. And then for extension, so just the other way for me. So that same pattern. Following 55 degrees. So we're going to do abduction, which is just the moving away of the body. So again, if you could do that for me. So wait, out, sorry. Is 172. And then we go internal and external rotation. Just that almost like over arm, making sure you're keeping that 90 degree shoulder flexion. And then from the elbow, which is going to external rotation for me. Good, keep that posture. So 92 degrees. And internal rotation for me is 62 degrees.
So long.
So now we're completing the same test on Cam's left hand side. So Cam, if we can get ready for shoulder flexion, start things off. That movement into flexion for me. Good, so a measurement of 178 and into extension for me is 78. Now I'm going to abduction. So 168 and internal and external rotation. So we start off with external. And we've got to read 97 into internal. So we've now just completed the shoulder, so then we're going to move on to the extension and flexion of the elbow. So Cam, we'll do your right hand side first. So nice flat arms by your side. And from here, just going to as much flexion as you possibly can. Sorry, let's start again. I did it wrong.
What did you do?
If you can go into full flexion. Cam's reading is 143. Wrap your arm again. And then attempt to go into flexion for me. Extension, sorry. Reading of 0. We'll move on to Cam's left hand side. Cam, same again, into as much flexion as you possibly can. This is a reading of 143 again. And into as much extension as you possibly can. Got a reading of -1. So now we're testing Cam's the same 5 measurements as the shoulder, but for the hip joint. So be testing extension first. So Cam, if I can get you to stand straight for me, get that balance on one leg for me, and then just smoothly moving your leg backwards. That is a reading of 50 degrees. And now for extension, if I could just get you to lay on your back for me. I've got permission to touch them.
Yep, that's fine.
And in your own time, just lifting that leg up as far as you can. Good stuff. 78 degrees, that one. Then we include adduction. So that's moving, so I want your knee at 90 degrees, parallel to the floor, and then just moving across your body like that.
That's internal rotation.
Internal, sorry.
That's fine.
So just moving that leg up a bit more, thank you. And then moving with a reading of exactly 50.
Just about.
And then moving that way for me.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is fine now.
I'll have to come out a bit if I want to put my leg
I'll
up.
just do it now. Go that way first.
Oh, cramp.
That was actually 52.
Cramping up.
52 degrees.
No.
Cross body. Maybe testing Cam's left hand side opposed to his right. So we just take his right hand side. So Cam, if you could do flexion for me, so if you lay on your back for me. I'm just going to feel for the bone protrusion at the hip.
This one.
And slowly just bringing up that leg up as high as you can. Just got a reading of 84. That's good stuff. And back up on your feet for me. And again, feeling that bone protrusion. Coming down. How do you get some extension for me? Reading of. Say that again for me?
Yeah, that's fine.
A reading of 46 degrees. So Cameron, you're going to do abduction and adduction. So I'm going to take it from this point here. I just want you to go into some abduction for me.
Get my balance.
We have a reading of, sorry, read that again.
It's fine. Keep losing my balance.
38. And we do some adduction, so add into the middle of the body. We're reading of 22. That's what we're down the same position. So getting that hip joint to 90 degrees. Make sure that leg is balanced. Go to external rotation for me. Get a reading of 46. Have a little rest. And when you're ready, get your position back in balance. And then go into some internal rotation for me. Reading of 30. Okay, so now we're moving on to testing Cam's extension and flexion of the knee. So Cam, we're going to start with your right hand side first, and we're going to take the bony protrusion of the knee. Where's your knee? So if you could just go into as much flexion as possible. Good stuff. Into, that is 125 pounds. I'm not expecting any degrees here at flexion, extension of the knee. So if you just attempt that for me. Yeah, I can see there's 0 degree flexion, extension there, sorry. Moving on to the left hand side, so the same process again. Just take the bone protrusion of the knee. And as much flexion as possible for me. And again, 120 degrees, bang on. And then as much extension as you possibly can. Again, a reading of 0.
Seems like such a point.
Okay, so the last flexibility test is of the ankle, and at the ankle movements occur called plantar flexion, dorsiflexion. Dorsiflexion is where the toes meet the shin, and plantar flexion is the opposite. So Cam, I'm going to take your right foot first. I'm just going to feel the collarbone, which is the bone problem of the ankle. And when you're ready, if you could just go into some dorsiflexion for me. And we've got reading, you can relax there. We've got reading of 7 degrees. And plantar flexion, just go down, relax. Got a reading of 38 degrees, and onto the other side. So your left hand side. Same process again, so dorsiflexion for me. Pause there. 7 degrees again. And for plantar flexion, pause there, is 16 degrees.
Tight ankles, boy.
Tight ankles.